Absolutely
Welcome back to
incredible performance
Sporut,
tonight.
the place
You've got
where
such
amazing
a bright
stories come
future
alive.
ahead.
If you love moments that shock the world, performances that change lives, and talent that rises from unexpected
Wow, that was
places, then you
incredible.
are in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and join this journey where we celebrate real people and their real stories. Today, we're bringing you one of the most unbelievable auditions ever seen on America's Got Talent. A young Filipino singer walked onto that giant stage and ended up leaving Simon Cowell completely speechless. Yes, Simon Cowell, the man who has seen thousands of performers, the man who rarely shows emotion, the man known for his strict comments and sharp judgments, was left in total silence. And trust me, when Simon is speechless, you know something extraordinary has just happened. Let's start from the moment everything began. It was the summer of 2025. The AGT stage was shining like always, the audience buzzing with excitement, the judges ready for another long day of auditions. Simon Cowell sat in his seat, arms folded, observing everything with that familiar sharp look. Even after all these years, Simon still takes talent shows very seriously. He believes in giving people a chance, cheering for the underdog, and pushing performers to reach their highest potential. And despite his sometimes tough personality, Simon is known for his genuine kindness behind the scenes, always encouraging people who come with dreams in their hearts. The next contestant walked out slowly, a little nervous but trying hard to smile. He introduced himself as a 20-year-old singer from the Philippines. The moment he said those words, people clapped warmly. Filipinos are known worldwide for their powerful voices, emotional singing, and deep passion for music. Even the judges reacted with interest. Sofia Vergara smiled brightly, Howie leaned forward, and Heidi gave a supportive nod. But Simon, as usual, remained calm and unreadable, simply saying, "All right, let's hear what you've got." No one expected what happened next. The lights dimmed. The music began, and suddenly a familiar old-school guitar riff echoed through the entire auditorium. It was unmistakable. It was Elvis Presley's style. But not just any Elvis song. It was one of his most difficult classics, a song that only a few singers in the world dare to attempt live. The Filipino contestant closed his eyes, took a deep breath, and when he opened his mouth, the entire room froze. His voice didn't just sound good. It sounded like the power of Elvis himself had landed on the AGT stage. Deep, rich, warm, and full of control, as if every note came from years of passion and practice. People in the audience gasped. You could actually hear someone say, "No way," as the first long note filled the air. Even the judges were stunned. Sophia's mouth opened in shock. Heidi whispered something to Howie. But the real moment came when cameras cut to Simon. He wasn't blinking. He was staring straight at the stage as if he had just discovered a rare diamond. And then it happened. A small smile appeared on Simon's face. Not a sarcastic smile. Not a polite smile. But the kind of smile he gives only when he knows he is witnessing something special, something unforgettable. As the singer continued, the performance grew stronger, bigger, more powerful. The way he hit the high notes, the way he controlled his vibrato, the way he carried the rhythm with confidence, everything felt perfect. It didn't feel like an imitation. It didn't feel like someone pretending to be Elvis. It felt like he captured the soul of Elvis while still bringing his own Filipino heart into the song. People in the audience stood up early. They couldn't wait for the final note. You could see phones coming out, people recording, cheering, shouting. The energy was electric. Halfway through the song, Sophia stood up from her chair, clapping and pointing toward the stage like she couldn't believe what she was hearing. Heidi followed next. Even Howie, who usually waits until the end, stood up too. But Simon remained seated, leaning closer, watching every detail. He looked like he was analyzing the performance, but also enjoying it at the same time. And then came the final note. The Filipino singer held it longer than anyone expected. His voice soared, filling every corner of the auditorium. When it finally ended, there was a moment of total silence. That rare second that only happens when something truly shocking takes place. The audience exploded into applause, screaming and cheering. But Simon, he didn't move. He still sat there, completely frozen. The cameras zoomed in on him because even the producers were shocked. Simon looked like a man who had just seen something he never thought he would experience again on AGT. Slowly, he stood up. The whole audience saw it. A full standing ovation from Simon Cowell. And the contestant on stage looked like he couldn't believe it. Tears filled his eyes. He covered his mouth. You could tell this was the biggest moment of his entire life. When it was time for the judges to speak, Sophia went first. She praised him for his unbelievable voice, calling him one of the best singers of the season. Heidi talked about how his presence and confidence made him unforgettable. How he said he was watching a superstar in the making. And then it was Simon's turn. Everyone stayed quiet. Simon took a breath and said something that made the entire room melt. He told the young singer that this was one of the most incredible Elvis-style performances he had ever heard in all his years on talent shows. He said the singer had not only honored Elvis but created a new version full of passion and originality. He added that Filipinos have some of the strongest musical talent in the world, and this performance proved it once again. Simon doesn't say things like this lightly. When he praises someone with this much emotion, it means he truly believes that person has something rare. And then Simon said something even more shocking. He told the singer that he deserved something special. The audience started screaming because they knew what that meant. Simon lifted his hand slowly and pressed the golden buzzer. The auditorium exploded. Golden confetti rained down from the sky. The Filipino contestant dropped to his knees, overwhelmed with joy. Simon walked onto the stage, shook his hand, and told him, "You're not just good. You're world class." Behind all the sharp comments and tough standards, Simon has a heart that recognizes pure talent instantly. Moments like this show that he isn't just a judge. He's someone who really loves seeing dreams come true. The singer was now in the live shows. But more importantly, he had already won the hearts of millions around the world. Clips of his audition went viral instantly. People from the Philippines shared it non-stop, celebrating the moment of Filipino talent made Simon Cowell speechless. Fans from all over the world reacted with awe. Some people said he sounded like the rebirth of Elvis. Others said he gave one of the best AGT performances in years. But the most emotional comments came from Filipinos abroad, who said his performance made them proud, gave them goosebumps, and reminded them of home. Music has a way of bringing people together, and this audition did exactly that. Even weeks after the episode aired, people continued talking about it, reacting to it, replaying it, and sharing it with friends and family. And that is why this story became so special. It wasn't just about a singer performing well. It was about a young man from the Philippines stepping onto one of the biggest stages in the world and surprising even the toughest judge in history. It was about the passion in his voice, the heart in his performance, and the power he carried from his culture, his family, and his dreams. When Simon Cowell pressed that golden buzzer, he wasn't just choosing a contestant. He was recognizing a rising global star. As the audition season came to a close, this moment remained one of the highlights of AGT 2025. People still talk about it. Fans still replay it. And Simon's reaction still gives chills every time. It's a reminder that talent can come from anywhere, from any background, from any country. All it needs is a stage, a chance, and the courage to step forward. And that brings us to the end of today's story on Story Sporut. If you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe and stay with us for more inspiring journeys, more unbelievable moments, and more stories that touch the heart. Until next time, keep believing in your dreams, because you never know when your moment will arrive, just like it did for the Filipino Elvis who left Simon Cowell speechless.